Jim Stevens back with you here at the 2018 P4P World Championships here in Berlin, Germany, as we bring you some open singles action in the round of 16. There he is, the man, Frederic Collignon, the greatest table soccer player ever. He'll be on the right side of your screen. And on the left, a man who finished second at last year's P4P German Championships. That is Marlin Sielfeld. Best 3 games out of 5 with a winner advancing to the quarterfinals in the winner's bracket of open singles. And what a pleasure it is to see the great Collignon in action once again. We don't get a lot of opportunities. In fact, probably this is only the second time in the last 4 or 5 years I've had an opportunity to watch him in person. He has not been to the United States since 2012 when he tripled at the Tornado World Championships. That's a nice shot right there from Sielfeld, who opens up the scoring with that cut angle. But Collignon, who has won world championships on every table, multi-world championships on most of them. Of course, the multi-table singles and doubles world titles. Also won a World Cup with Team Belgium. A man who really revolutionized the sport in many ways. Going up against a tough opponent here, as we said, Marlin Sielfeld. Second place finisher last year at the German Championships. I believe it was Frank Browns, the great German player, who defeated him in the final. He'll put it into play. He used the left hand to send that one up the table. And then back comes Collignon to even it up at 1 apiece here in game number 1. The first time we ever saw Frederic Collignon in the United States was back, I guess, about 1995, when he came over as a very young man in his early 20s, and Sielfeld able to hammer that one home. 2-1 lead early on for Marlin Sielfeld. And then beginning in 1998, Collignon dominated the American World Championship, the Tornado World Championships, not only with partner Todd Lafredo, but also in the open singles competition, while also winning on most every other table as well, and winning at a rate of about 90%, if not better. Collignon walking it and calling timeout, a signature Frederic Collignon early game timeout. Had a chance last night to talk with Fred's significant other, Ingrid Aubin. Great to see her as well, and their son Killian, who is now 13 years old and apparently quite the tennis player. And Sielfeld got a man on that one. And then grabs it on the 5 and passes it along the near wall. Marlin again will shoot the snake shot, setting it up somewhat to the near side, and blocked up into the air and off the table by Collignon. Fred will put the ball back into play. Still 2-1 here in game number 1 in favor of Sielfeld. This is one of the ways that Collignon revolutionized the game. I think up until Fred came on the scene, we really didn't see quite the 2 to the 5 passing series as much as we certainly do now. And coming back down the middle is Collignon. It's 2-2. Sielfeld Marlin will shoot for the lead. That shot goes wide, back the other way, and Marlin gets the left hand back there to sweep it away, but it's Collignon who's able to pick up the rebound. Nice play there by Marlin. Got that left hand back there quickly. Unfortunately, he couldn't grab it, although he does make the block, and eventually it results in a possession on his three-rod. Collignon there defensively. Both players playing well on the defensive side of the ball right now. And the takeaway here is Marlin didn't execute the left-handed shot. But he continues to keep Collignon out of the goal. We're even at 2 here in the first game. Collignon. And again, Sielfeld there, and it bounces up into the air and off the table. Marlin will put the ball back into play. Fired on goal here by Fred, and then picked up by Marlin. Some really good defense going on right now down on table number 1 on both sides. And again, Marlin turning it over. Still 2-2. You're in game number 1. As Collignon will put the ball back into play. Fred again taking some time. Always so good at reading defenses, but again, Sielfeld there to make the block up into the air and off the table, and Marlin will put it back into play. Marlin Sielfeld will put the ball back into play. 2-2 here in game number 1 still. A match that is better than 8 minutes long. We've had just the 4 goals. Collignon has had the more possessions on the 3-rod and has kept the pressure on Sielfeld, and you would think at some point that Marlin's going to break or Fred is going to find a way to get through the Sielfeld defense. Fred gently passing it to the 5-rod. Sielfeld continuing to work hard defensively. And stolen away here by Collignon. Fred sitting, faking one way. And then fakes and gets him off the hole to that near side. It's 3-2. Fred just so smart utilizing that standard pin series. Sielfeld coming back with a bounce pass. The key for Marlin is to get possessions and put good shots on goal. Collignon able to take it away. And now you look to use the left hand to pass. Collignon really dominating the time of possession. Bounces that one off the inside wall and in, and Fred up 4-2. Collignon with 2 in a row has surged ahead. Sielfeld can't connect, picked up with the left hand by Collignon. Going all the way up the table towards the goal, and Sielfeld has possession. Left-handed push kick up into the air and off the table after the block by Collignon, who will put the ball back into play. Fred tried to work that one on the far side, blocked by Sielfeld. Fred will stay over there. Really isn't anything this man can't do. Pass on the near side, pass on the far side. He's a really good shooter at goal, but of course in singles, most of the time, if not all, he is passing 2-rod to 5-rod. But Sielfeld has really worked hard defensively throughout this first game, just has not been able to generate enough offense. And Fred's going to take a look at the table. And he says it's okay. We'll put it back into play. Picked up here by Sielfeld. Been a while since Marlin has scored, but he does find the hole here. Collignon will put the ball back into play, now leading 4-3 here in the first game. Tried the shot attempt again. Sielfeld so quick defensively. That one was bouncing back into the goal. He got the left hand on the goalie rod to keep it out. To bank that one with the left hand. There he is to pick it up with the right hand. Something we saw at last year's German Championships. He's a little unorthodox, but he gets the job done. He gets a possession. He gets a goal out of it. And we're even at 4-4. 2 in a row from Marlin Sielfeld. And picked up here by Collignon. Been an impressive defensive effort from Marlin Sielfeld, but will it be enough here in this first game as Collignon sets it up? Fred does have a timeout left. Not going to use it as he tried to take it out to that far side, blocked by Sielfeld. Now we're going to talk about this one. Looked like Collignon didn't do anything. He simply shot the ball. It was blocked by Sielfeld. And Collignon indeed not going to give the ball up as he puts it back into play and will look to win this opening game. Fred fires it home. It's 1-0. Here we go, second game underway. Sielfeld. And now Collignon with shots, and Fred able to find the back of the goal here. 1-0 lead for Fred here in the second game. He leads 1-0. Round of 16 action in the winners bracket of open singles. And Sielfeld answers. Fred sends that one on goal with a left hand, then picks up the rebound. And continues to shoot the ball well. I think he's made 3 of his last 4. Sielfeld puts that one on goal and in goal. Two here in the second. Collignon with a left hook on goal. Players exchanging shots with a 5-row. Collignon grabs the rebound. Begins to dance with the ball. And finds that cut angle. It's 3-2. Sielfeld really put a lot of effort into that first game. That left hook spins, skies, and then rolls to Sielfeld on the 5. And that one blocked up into the air and off the table by Collignon. 1-0 lead for Fred. He's up 3-2 here in the second. Sielfeld with the left hand, then has the right hand up there, enabling him to catch that ball. But again, Collignon there. Frederic Collignon looking to extend his lead here in this second game. Again, tried the cut angle. That's a nice block and takeaway by Marlin. Sielfeld off the inside wall, up into the air and off the table. Collignon puts the ball back into play. 3-2 lead for Fred here in game number 2. We've had 14 goals in the match so far, and we are 22 minutes into the match. It's been played at a very slow pace, especially on the right side of the table. And there's been some good defense. Marlin will use the left hand to shoot it and score it. Something he's very good at. Shooting it with the left hand from the 2-run. It's 3-3, and Sielfeld will call time out. Collignon will put the ball back into play. Tied up at 3. It's not been easy for Fred. And he does get it through on the second effort. Collignon will call timeout. Fred calls time in, puts the ball back into play, and looks to give himself the lead here in this second game. And he does. Collignon leading 4-3 here in the second game. Sielfeld, who made it close in that first game, with Collignon eventually pulling it out 5-4, will look to tie it up at 4 here. Taking a lot of time and calling timeout. Sielfeld puts the ball back into play, sets up the snake shot, and strokes it home. So again, just as in the first game, we are tied at 4 goals apiece. But there has never been a better 4-4 player than this man here, Collignon. If you're going to be a world champion, and we're talking about world championships, the number is somewhere between 75 and 150. You have to win the close ones. You must win those 4-4 games, and Collignon has done it better than anyone ever has throughout the course of his career. Collignon puts the ball back into play, even at 4 here in the second game. Big ball here for Marlin Sielfeld in particular. Makes the block along the wall of the pass by Collignon. Fred able to scoop this one through. Looking for a 2-0 lead. Frederic Collignon. Try to come near side, blocked and taken away by Sielfeld. Again, the left hand. He's got the 5-row down to catch it, but it's stolen away by Fred. Started to say that he shoots the ball, I think, more than he passes it with the left hand back there. He tried to pass it at 4-4, taken away by Fred. He blocks the effort to the far side, comes back to Sielfeld, to Collignon, who angles it in. It's 2-0. Marlin Sielfeld has made it close so far, both games ending in 5-4 scores in favor of that man, Frederic Collignon. But it is Collignon who is up 2-0 as we open up the third game. For whatever reason, the matches at the P4P events tend to go longer. We've had matches as long as an hour and 20 minutes or so, as Collignon inadvertently off that outside wall and in. He leads 1-0. This one now almost 30 minutes long, and we've played 2 games. Collignon squeezed that one down the middle, taken away by Sielfeld, who gets a possession. Marlin shot attempt, blocked back the other way. A 1-0 lead here in the third game for Frederic Collignon. And it's 2-0. Sielfeld could use a goal here. And angled that one wide, but it does bounce back to Marlin. And he strokes it home. Two 2-1 lead for Frederic Collignon here in game number 3. That one blocked back the other way. Collignon got the left hand back there to keep it out, knocked it off the opposite end wall, and grabs it on the 3-rod. A great play by Collignon, and it results in a goal. He's up 3-1. Sielfeld thought he had his second goal. Collignon denied him, got a possession out of it, and a goal. Fred in control here in this open singles match in the round of 16. Now working it up the table, 2-rod to 5. Nice pass along the near wall by Sielfeld. And he angles that one in to make it 3-2. Marlin just finds ways to get it done. It's a little bit different. And we're going to get a timeout called here. A 3-2 lead for Frederic Collignon as he puts it into play. And a timeout called here by Fred. Collignon will put the ball back into play. That one stays out. And Sielfeld ties it at 3. Marlin Sielfeld with 2 in a row has tied it at 3 here in this third game. Both of the first 2 games went down to the final ball. Collignon went with a left hook. Sielfeld had it, lost it, hit it, and scored it, and he's up 4-3. 3 in a row from Marlin Sielfeld. Again, Fred going with the left hook, and then it's knocked back into his goal again. So Marlin Sielfeld scores the last 4 goals of game number 3 in about 2 minutes and comes back to get back into the match. He now trails 2-1. Frederic Collignon was up 3-2 in the third game, leading 2-0. Actually up 3-1. And Marlin Sielfeld, with his winner's bracket life on the line, scored the last 4, and it's now 2-1 in favor of Collignon, who puts it into play. And will have the first possession on his 3-rod here in the 4th game. And finds the hole down the middle. Sielfeld will look to tie. Collignon with a block back the other way. Sielfeld with the left hand. I think he's looking to shoot first, pass second. Does pass it nicely along the wall. And then along the wall, 5-3. But Collignon there to make the block and keep it out. Taken away by Sielfeld. Who strokes it home near side. One here in the fourth game. Fred will set it up and stroke it home. Went with a quick one here for the first time in the match and was able to score it to that far side. Sielfeld can't connect. And back the other way with the left hand goes Collignon. It's 3-2, two quick ones in a row from Fred. And he's up 3-1 here in game number 4. Collignon taking it away. And passing it along the near wall. Ball's timeout. Frederic Collignon will put the ball back into play. And stroke it home. It's match point for Collignon. So Fred saw Sielfeld come back with 4 in a row in that third game to get back in the match, but Fred has come out to get 4 of the 5 here in game number 4, and he's just a goal away from advancing to the quarterfinals in the winner's bracket of open singles. Quick shot here, up into the air and off the table. Frederic Collignon will put the ball back into play and close it out with that left-handed shot from goal in 4 games. Frederic Collignon defeats a very tough Marlin Sielfeld to advance in the winner's bracket of open singles.